I used to not really consider myself a very creative person, and now I'm releasing tracks every other day. For a while, I was releasing one a day. So, what changed? What happened? I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was 10, and before that, I was really into drawing. In high school, I was in a pop punk band with some friends, and so, like, everything was there, right? Everything was there for me to feel like I was a creative person. But that band was a thing for, I don't know, 2, 3 years, and we had like 6 songs. I remember the songwriting process feeling so daunting to me and so difficult. Like, how do I just pull something out of thin air? In fact, most of the songs that we did didn't even like come from my head. They were other bandmates' ideas that we just built on. So what changed? What happened? Well, very much inspired by what John Cordy does. And if somehow you're here and you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's awesome. I started this YouTube channel with the intent to make loops and solo over them. And after the first couple, I realized it was pretty accessible. Now, that's not to say that they were like great at the time, like either executionally or creatively, but it was something that I could do. And pretty quickly, I realized it was something I could do every single day. So for, I think, 139 straight, I uploaded every single day. That was all I did at the time. I would build a loop on a guitar, put some drums and bass over it, and then solo over it. But even after the fact, even whenever I was able to pick this channel back up, and now I'm like doing these discussions, I'm still doing like one every other day. And that's actually the easier part of what I'm doing. See, for me, it's not so much about coming up with something really cool. It's more about just like letting the ideas flow, and I might realize it was really cool afterward. In fact, one of my favorites that I've done, I really didn't think much of it at the time. It was kind of a rush job. And then it took like a couple of days after it came out for it to have really grown on me. That's song 51, by the way. Go check it out. Link's in the description. So what happened? How did I go from being not creative at all to being creative? I boil it down, it really just comes down to hitting record. Like anybody can like sit around and noodle. But unless you're recording it, those ideas just go away. Most of the time, you're not going to remember what you played. Maybe it was something special and you'll hang on to it, but I know in my experience, most of the time it just goes away. I never think of it again. But when I'm doing this practice of recording these every single day and I just have to come up with something, I catch everything. Now I've got almost 200, and if I ever decide to like do something with them, to like actually write songs and produce something, I've got a lot to pick from, and I've got a favorites playlist that has a lot of what I thought were my favorite that I might use someday. I mean, even like thinking about this video, I've got a couple ideas in the works that I just didn't feel like I could talk about today because I wanted to make sure that I do them right. So as I was just sitting thinking about like, what am I going to talk about? I was just playing around with this A minor chord. That's just some fives and some opens. And I ended up coming up with this kind of progression that has some open stuff. It's got that open G and the open E kind of droning over it. And I thought, man, I should turn that into a loop. I should use that. Now, I already recorded today's jam, so that's not what it's going to be. But you're probably going to hear me using this at some point. Because, yeah, I think it's cool. It's kind of sad, kind of spooky. I don't know, there's a lot you can do with it. That's kind of playing off of those drone notes. But the point is that if I didn't notice that and like have the habit of recording this stuff, that would just be gone forever. And like most of the time, that's okay. It's okay for those things to go away forever. The problem is that the fact that I didn't have those for such a long time, the fact that I could just pick up a guitar and noodle and then like never play with it again, made it feel like I wasn't creative. I couldn't come up with anything that would stick. I mean, back whenever I was in my high school band, it was kind of more rock-based, more driven, and I thought it needed to be like a really cool, like rock kind of progression that would work really well. I had a really hard time with hanging on to like just power chord type of stuff and handing it over. I really didn't have the capacity to record at the time. But I mean, I had a phone I could have recorded to. But I think without the means to record and without the means to develop the idea, those ideas are just like fleeting. Which is why I think actually creating is, as I talk this out, I think what makes me creative, what makes me feel like a creative person at this point is actually creating. Like having ideas are one thing, but because they're so fleeting, if I don't actually create them, then it doesn't really feel like I can create. And like I think that's reflected in a lot of the greats. Sometime after Prince's death, it was discovered that he had like hundreds to thousands of unreleased songs. Like the guy just couldn't help but create, and he made sure to bring them into existence. He made sure to give his ideas life. And then from that, he could pick and choose what he decided to develop and put on a record. But yeah, ultimately, I think what makes you a creative person, or at least what can make you feel more like a creative person, to make you feel more able to do it, whether you already can or not, is to just do it. Like just create. Give whatever stupid little ideas you have life. And the reason I say stupid is because that's how I would think about it. Like give the little, oh, that's kind of a cool chord. Like, well, move on. No, give it some life. Let it develop. And then do something with it. And if that thing never sees the light of day, that's okay. You still made something. I think creating like that, and I think especially having a backlog of things that you've created can be really inspiring to create even more. It's kind of a positive feedback loop. So I would say if you struggle with that, if you don't feel like you're a very creative person, or you're like, man, how do people put out so much music? The answer is just to do it, like just to capture it. And if it's bad, let it be bad, but give it life. Give it life and, finish it, put a bow on it. If you make music, put it on Bandcamp or Spotify or YouTube. If you like to paint or draw, like do the thing. And if it ends up in a box in a closet, that's okay. Because at some point you or someone else is going to find that box and look through all of the really cool things that you've made and potentially be inspired. Like I think there's definitely a tendency to ask, so what? I have all this stuff, who cares? Especially if no one's going to see it, especially if it doesn't go anywhere. Well, like I think you will care. I think once you have a lot of cool stuff, you will care. Especially once the really good ones start to emerge. They're not going to emerge every time, but like once they start to emerge, I think you're going to be glad that you did. I think the world is better off when people are making things, especially art, and I think individuals are better off whenever they're creating things, and especially like finishing things. Make it, put a bow on it, call it done, move on to the next thing. So I don't know. That's my profound words of wisdom today. It is worth exactly what you paid for it. But hey, if you made it this far, hit the like button. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment. Just say hey. And if you're into this type of thing, subscribe. See you in the next one.